he has now been put on the bench, according to Wikipedia, I believe.
And now it's Love You, Love Me,
yes.
right?
Weapons told me to call him Little M. I don't know if he's messing with me, but he claims that's a short.
Little M.
I prefer L-I''L, like Lil M.
Okay.
So I think we should just go with that.
Today he's tagged up as just Lover. So he's moved from Love You, Love Me to just the ubiquitous Lover.
I can love that. I'm into that.
It's a nice upgrade. So Aster EG, best of 3 series. It starts now. Our draft is just about to get underway. Trent, what do you think in this series? Who are you favoring before we start talking about heroes? What's your gut telling you? Is this an EG favored matchup?
Yeah, I think EG just goes near the top of the entire tournament, so it would only be fair to favor them coming to a matchup versus Aster. This is a team that has, of course, just recently swapped out their mid player, but I will say that's really all that's lacking on this team. They just need that like perfect mid. I feel like they're trying to pull like the Sumail. They're trying to find a Sumail to go with all these other players. Like Bobica, certainly one of the younger players, but he's been around for a while now. Everyone else on this team, Sylar, XXS, Fenrir, right? These guys, you know them. You recognize these names, but they're just missing that little bit of like, I don't know. They need that cocky mid laner kind of guy to come in, rally around, try and just like throw all these resources into, make some space for it. And I feel like if they actually find that player, this team's going to look great.
Okay.
Will Lover be that guy on loan from FTD? I don't know.
I see. Sounds like a lot of pressure on his shoulders here, Trent.
Dude, there was so much pressure on poor D-Stones. I felt for that guy, honestly. At Hamburg, you could tell. Like, there were rumors in the back channel as the tournament started that if he didn't do well, he was out.
Well,
and then, well, look what happened.
What do you know? Sometimes the prophecies come true. Well, first round of bans coming out here. Looks like Aster will think about their third, but Enigma Drow already taken out of the pool, and Necro, Weaver, Axe will be the 3 bans from. Nothing too terribly surprising. All pretty relevant meta heroes. As we've all seen, new patch on the horizon, Trent, after this major, 7.20. This is the last of 7.19. Dude, you gotta soak it up while you can.
Yeah, hopefully there'll be some slight variation. Yeah. The last couple tournaments, I mean, Hamburg looked a bit different. Dream League looked even different from Hamburg, so we're still evolving through the patch, but of course, a lot of those big mainstays are still going to be here. Absolutely zero surprises in this first phase phase. Maybe Chen being the one who's left in here. Like this Axe, Weaver, Necro, boom. Just Io, Drow, Enigma. I think those are the 3 big heroes to watch for. If you're going to watch a lot of Evil Geniuses tournaments, or matches rather, at the tournament, I would see those 3 heroes being extremely commonly banned versus them. And this is probably the 2 most common supports that we've seen over the past like 3 months-ish, it feels like, at least, with Phoenix and the Ogre. Wyvern's out. Phoenix is in.
Yep.
The better
From ice to fire, baby.
Yeah, that's right. We got Game of Thrones up here.
The Rebirth. So how about Silencer here, though? One of the better heroes against Phoenix in terms of the last word. You know, can't make her dive away.
I'm a personal Silencer hater.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
The hero. I don't know. I feel like he's just so much weaker in lane than he used to be. If he's not in like a lane that can bully, oh my god, he does nothing. Okay. So I find he can be a very weak 5 in that position because of that, but you're right. He's still extremely strong. He synergizes well with numerous heroes in the mid game. You think about initiators like Storm or Bat or something like that, and Silencer is just great. He can even help in certain counter initiation situations, but for now, EG will grab themselves the Everblade.
Yeah, I guess that's sort of the bane of this patch right now is the carry pool feels pretty light. Not too many really true top-tier position 1s. Terrorblade, kind of pick of the litter, I guess, right now. We've seen some Weavers. PL, I guess, is still on the horizon. The position 1 Necros, I guess he kind of counts. But not surprised to see Terrorblade.
No, I think it's a little interesting they went for the TV over the PL, just because like PL can help with like the spells and stuff versus Phoenix. Also, in case there's like an Ignite lane coming towards you, can be a little bit more comfortable. But TB is, I would say, a little bit more reliable in terms of like snowballing early. You can just approach a tower very easily, help your team with objectives compared to a PL who has that Diffusal Blade and sometimes a little bit of a defensive item after that. So, and EG just well known for the Terrorblade. Very good at creating a lot of space.
It's definitely a different tempo from the PL. I think PL you have to fight a lot more around item timings early on. Terrorblade's a little bit more based on that push, take fights, all that kind of stuff. Yep. Morphling, the other carry we didn't talk about, who's probably going to be banned out a fair bit. I was looking at some of the stats. I noticed that EG really disproportionately bans one of their top bans the past couple weeks.
Yeah, he's a very strong hero. I think Secret, of course, making it look the best compared to anyone, likely because they keep winning tournaments. But Niche,
funny how that works.
Yeah,
huh?
It's weird, right? But Niche is just incredible on it, and it's definitely a hero that I don't know. I still like watching Morphling at least.
Oh, sure.
I can say that about the hero compared to PL.
He's definitely exciting to watch. I don't think there's much of an argument
there. He's a little confusing when you're casting something.
Yeah.
there's suddenly 2 Jugs or 2 Legion Commanders or something like that. But Legion Commander, she's in here in
Legion.
our
So you're a
game.
silencer hater. I'm a bit of a Legion commander. I have to admit. This is one of those heroes that I often feel like when this hero wins, it could have been replaced with a medley of other offlaners. Relatively
10
easy to play
seconds
around when you're
remaining.
talking about the pro level. You know, the best of the best. Duel is
5 seconds
underwhelming, I think, to say the least. One of the things I think press the attack is the
Oh, yeah.
really the
That's
ability
her
that
spell.
comes to mind is utility. Outside of that,
I mean, this is definitely an overwhelming odds game because it's against the Terrorblade. She was often seen as one of the bigger counters to the hero.
Fair,
She
yep.
can try and clear all the illusions. It does a ton of damage to him, and then she can also lock him down in that crucial, like, bottom 30% HP. Make sure he can't sunder. See if you guys can get the kill.
she has the potential to do
Exactly.
that, but very
It's hard to
difficult to execute. If you can, it can certainly be a game winner. High risk, high reward, I guess, is an okay way to frame this hero,
Radiant team
but
pick.
we'll see.
The
Now, Dazzle, this is what I'm talking about. The Fly
your boy.
Classic paired with the Terrorblade. This is prime Dazzle territory here, Trent.
okay, yeah, this is quite nice.
And it's amazing against them. It is like not a hard counter, but you
It's
get
definitely
dual,
a hard
you're
counter.
there.
No, I think if there's anything in Dota that actually you can qualify, like hard counter's a little overused, but I'm pretty sure that's a hard counter.
I would say Culling Blade
10
against
seconds
Shallow Grave is a
remaining.
hard counter. Shallow Grave against that because it doesn't. It buys you some
5
time,
seconds.
yeah, but it
but
stops them from getting the dual damage. I think that's a pretty big counter.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
like the whole hero.
all right. I'll concede. Hard counter.
Please do.
Hard countered by the Dazzle. Let's go.
Definitely going to be a pressuring lane with the Legion +1. Either Phoenix or Ogre can do quite well at bullying, even a TB and Dazzle. I'd be a little worried in that sense. So, like, how much pressure they can get on, but a lot of it's going to come down to, like, the first couple waves and that sort of a lane.
Yeah, it's definitely.
The offlane pool is a little interesting at this point. I'm not sure if this Tiny's going to be 4, potentially crit. That's definitely been the more common Tiny.
We've seen what the Lena Tiny combo has been fairly popular as
Yeah.
of late.
Yeah,
She's
maybe
still
doing like
available.
an offlane and then
Geniuses turn
And Ichi, they are a
faceless
little light on
void.
stuns right now. One drawback to the Dazzle, not a lot of control. And now the Faceless Void from Aster.
kind of big on the void. I feel like both Aster and VG kind of pulling it out a little bit. The more into him. I don't think the rest of the world's quite as into the hero. As that region's, but that tends to be China, things in C, they like to have their own
Radiant
flavor.
team
I feel like
back.
Void and LC are not the most harmonious duo. As now the Ursa gets snagged by.
Ursa. Okay, so Ursa, very good against Phoenix, very good against Ogre, good against Faceless Void. Basically, if you are in lane versus the Faceless Void, and he tries to time walk off any of your damage, the Fury Swipe stacks still stay. So he can keep
Okay.
putting on that additional damage. Fury stacks are not
10
dispellable, so
seconds
Legion Commander
remaining.
can't do anything against them in her lane. Against an Ogre Magi, it's like the one support that can
5
actually go toe-to-toe with
seconds
Ogre,
remaining.
because you will win that. And then against Phoenix, you have the Overpower versus the Egg. This is a
Yeah.
damn clutch
And
Ursa.
it's actually not bad against LC either. Not that he'll ever really be a prime duel target, but that
Yeah,
is
you don't
someone that
wanna duel
LC
this
does
guy.
not want to duel whatsoever. So I'm into it. This was a pretty clutch pick.
Wow. Now the question is it going to end up being this like crit Ursa? Do they feel like they can play greedy enough and just go for that early blink dagger? I feel like that's been the more common thing for Ursas. It's hard to run it in the mid roll when you don't know what your matchup's going to be. So
Yeah.
that makes that a
Evil
little bit difficult.
geniuses turn to bad.
Are you worried at all about the lack of control for EG? I mean, basically the tiny avalanche is all they've got in terms of hard stun.
Yeah, certainly a problem. You could think about more of like a playmaker hero in the mid lane, like a Ember's still in the pool, but you're up against a Face Boy, which would be a bit of a problem. Even Lead cause you some issues. Puck, sort of a hero. I know, dead hero, but kind
10
of the
seconds
idea.
remaining.
I believe this will be a S4
5
Tiny.
seconds
I think it's gonna
remaining.
be S4 Tiny. I feel like that's how this is gonna. How this
Okay.
rounds out, and then. So yeah, control you pointed out. Currently, their Roche looks pretty good between T-Dazzle, Ursa.
Oh yeah, pretty serious Roche
Their team
potential.
fight Roche is pretty. Like think about, they can take Roche very quickly, but they have to fight into Egg and Chrono around
Yeah.
the pit.
Yeah,
That's a bit worried.
yeah, for sure. But if they get a pick or two, they can kill it so fast that it might not even really come to a big team fight pit if they can properly. I like the Pugna final ban from
very
Aster.
good. I think Mirana is like my ideal hero here, and obviously it was banned out early because they go to counter. But I feel like Mirana would just like really round out the speed they want to play right now.
Yeah.
And Pugna could also have helped accelerate. DK looks kind of okay in that same
DK.
regard, but that puts a lot of pressure on getting stuff.
Well, with Ursa terribly tiny, I don't know if that's the worst thing in the world. They could
Genius.
certainly put on a lot of early pressure. TA gets banned out, and there's the Lina.
PA bands there. Yep. It's Lina time.
Yeah. I like the Lina, though.
Okay, so
give
what-
some extra stun.
I bet if this mid matchup can be played as Ursa, I could actually see some playing the Ursa.
I could, too. Absolutely.
Depending on what this 10th hero is. I think that would be so sick if this was like offlane Tiny, support Lina, mid
10
Ursa,
seconds remaining.
Dazzle TV. I think that's like the dream scenario for each hero.
5 seconds remaining.
Aster take here. Oh, we'll find out.
You
It's
may
the
now
Tinker.
Select your heroes.
Nice, nice pick in this situation. Very good against Ursa. Very good against the Terrorblade.
Yeah, you're not running Ursa mid at that point, so Sumail instantly snags that.
That's
And
not
it'll
gonna be
be crit on the Tiny and S4 on. So more farm priority to the Ursa, and very common.
okay. Well, at first this Aster draft, I didn't quite see the synergy, but now they've got a lot to dump into that Chrono, Tinker, Phoenix, two perfect heroes to settle on the edge, overwhelming odds you can throw on the inside.
Tinker counter to the Terrorblade has been a very common
Yeah,
thing too.
I really like this Tinker. Let's see what Lover can do. They're talking about a lot of pressure, and even
Yep,
more now that he's got the big boy in the driver's seat. I still
10
favor the EG
seconds
draft slightly,
remaining.
though. I think they can put on a lot of pressure. I think they can start the aggression
5
very
seconds
early
remaining.
on. The Aster lineup, to me, looks a little bit more greedy.
It's slow.
Is that fair? Slow, maybe?
It's
Like
very
Tinker
slow.
Void, I just think of that window in the early game where
Yeah.
they're both trying to get those core items, and they're knocking down all those outer towers. And
Like what happens when Chrono's down? This guy has Mask.
Yeah.
Right? He buys Mask of Madness, he Chronos someone and gets a kill. The guy respawns in 20 seconds, and then what happens? Right?
Yeah. And that's
You
the
just
thing.
See a meta push.
like EG can fight around meta, but they can also still find pick-offs, still find objectives, even when that meta is on cooldown, if the Chrono is also on cooldown. And that's the great thing about heroes like Ursa, Tiny, Lina with a Dazzle backing them up. They do a lot of damage, and they do a lot of damage early on.
So to me, it looks like then we're going to be watching very carefully the Chrono versus the meta. And so like when one
Absolutely.
gets popped, like you imagine if they try and go for a push, and then suddenly RTZ dies with meta up to a Chrono, big problem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mid matchup, Lina versus Tinker. How does that go? Is that relatively even? I would assume it's Lina favored.
Yeah, relatively, Lina beats everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, Tinker just does his thing, right? I guess to say it's even fair, because Lina definitely wins the matchup, but then the Tinker just runs away to the jungle, and goes up here to punish that. It's like,
Yeah, he doesn't lose in the sense that she's going to kill him over and over, but
unless he tries to stay in the lane.
Well.
That'll be the question.
I mean, that could always happen. That's
Yeah.
fair, but things go according to plan. Definitely not. All right, game number 1. This is a best-of-3 series, boys and girls. A lot to look forward to today. Group A and Group B, and tomorrow we'll have Group C as well as Group D.
to Rebel. Great
Fine.
question, Crit. I think everyone's pretty much ready to Rebel. You know, it's major time. These qualifiers feels like it was forever ago.
I know. it really
Finally,
was.
we get here. What everyone's been waiting for, the first match on the road to TI, baby.
This is it. The
It might not
DPC.
take a lot this year, you know? Just finishing in that top parts of one of these majors just might be enough to get you there.
It's a fair point.
Even the first major of the year, just so important. Journey to TI.
Yep, no doubt. Well, we got 3 heroes from EG down here in the bottom lane. Maybe find the solo Sylar on the Void.
And they're hiding Arteezy so far away up top. He does not want to be
30
spotted
seconds to battle.
or killed whatsoever here. But overall, it looks like it'll just be a 2 for 2, kind of the classic. Gonna swap up their runes. All of the lanes look exactly how you would expect. The one question will just where does Fenrir go and where does Bobica go? Pretty much what'll be rounding out. I would think that you probably want the Phoenix bottom.
The battle
Ogre will play up
begins.
top, just so the Ogre doesn't have to play against the Ursa.
Seems so. Creep's gonna come out here. The bounties where he spread.
Yep.
Sorry, just tweaking some of my settings here, Trent.
Ah, I see, I see.
Ready to rock and roll. Got a long day of Dota ahead of us. Got to get everything tweaked here while we still have time. All right, so we'll be the Dazzle, Ursa in the off lane, and Terrorblade Tiny up top for EG.
Oh, okay, so that is a little bit different.
Melee up here in this top lane.
He uses TP to go up there too. Fred is dedicated at this point. He didn't just do the run up or anything like that, whereas I think everyone has their TP prepped on the raid. If there's any lane swaps, it will favor of Aster.
It's like no movement so far. Phoenix Void down bottom. It'd be a fairly even matchup of the Dazzle putting a lot of pressure on this start.
Yeah, this is a way better lane for EG. Like, this is a Phoenix with 0 armor versus physical harass spells like Poison Touch. So it's just gonna be doing over and over, very irritating. And then again, we talked about this whole idea of not being able to spell Fury swipes, or not even having a method to spell anyway, because your face is void.
Hey Trent, while we're paused, do you know how to turn the mini-map little icons back into colors? Because I'm a color kind of guy, and I don't know how to
you can
change
do
it back.
the icons. You know what they look like.
Well,
you know
sort
what
of.
those look like. You'll figure it out.
We'll do our best. I keep looking at that Terrorblade and thinking Shadow Fiend. It's really messing with me here, pal.
Let me let you know, there actually isn't a Shabby. That Dire Courier shouldn't have been there.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that's not great. Well, a freebie for Aster. Definitely take that. I'm pretty curious what build Fly's going to go on the Dazzle here. They might get this first blood on the Bokeh. He's very low, and that'll do it. S4 grabs the bonus gold on the Ursa.
Okay, take my courier, take your life. Still probably coming in favor of Aster.
But this might be a game where we'll see an extra point in Poison Touch relatively early on. Like you mentioned, the Phoenix with no armor. This is a situation where the Dazzle can just bully him.
Yeah, I think versus the Void, too, that actually looks pretty... I would definitely like a 3-0-2 start. Okay. For the Dazzle.
The aggro Dazzle, so to speak. That build has been becoming a little bit more popular. I guess the pro players have been doing it in pubs.
Yeah, when you spammed it, it was terrible, but no, actually, you were onto something.
I'm a trendsetter, Trent.
Yeah,
I was ahead of the time.
Yeah, I can tell. Fly just constantly keeping her ass. And he's a little bit deep here, though, but no lucky bashes, at least not yet for Sally. One more. Come on, give it to him. Oh! Cannot buy a bash on this man.
Run, Fly, run. Poor Dazzle. Well, how's our top lane going here? Terrorblade, 11 CS against the 11 of the XXS Legion Commander, so pretty even up here.
Yeah, and this is with the Ogre roaming to the mid lane to try and upset this balance, but Sumail is dominating at this point and has an Arcane Rune, so Lover can't even move in here to, like, do anything with that Ignite.
So in the mid lane, is this the spread you'd expect, Lena Tinker, or is this extra dominant for Sumail?
I would say it's a little extra dominant, especially considering this guy has no courier, right? If Lena has a courier, this is considered kind of okay, but that guy has no courier.
That's a fair point.
And he's getting wrecked.
Fenrir is just going to rotate back up top. Not much he could do in the mid. And down bottom, they will find another kill onto Baboka. S4 is hearing that once again. Not much the Void can do to peel for his feet.
Hang out with Kyle or something? You're just going to start dropping peel now?
Is that a
cool?
Kyle word? Yeah.
I'm calling that a Kyle word.
Okay. I don't want to tell you where I've been hearing that word. I've been playing too much World of Warcraft, Trent.
I think that's where his problem started as well.
Oh,
that must be what it is.
All these WoW gamers casting Dota. Relatively quiet laning phase, though. A lot of farming, pretty minimal rotations. Phoenix been the only one to take a spill so far.
Lover's made quite a comeback in the mid in the past couple waves, too, actually. Closing that gap somewhat, and there's no pressure on his camps or anything at the moment, so in that regard, stacks after.
What's going to be the catalyst to really get some rotations going? Are we just going to see a relatively stagnant laning phase, you think?
I think it's extremely defensive from the side of Aster. You can't really do anything, right? Like, you kind of want to catch EG in an aggressive act with a Chronos, punish that, and that's the best thing that they have going for them because they just want to keep creating space for their Tink. I think XSS is going to have a little bit of a hard time getting his couple duels rolling just because he's got an Ogre and a Phoenix. They don't have a lot of burst damage, really. It's kind of an awkward duo to, you think about smoking up with a duel. I want like a lion or something with me, I want to drop like a finger of death on this guy. And we're going to have to hope for some multicast.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Fenrir have been roaming so much. He's still level 2. Gets tossed into the tower, instantly reflecting meta.
Yep, a lot of damage coming his way. Should be a kill for EG, and he'll go to the tower. 3-0 as we get close to that 5-minute mark. EG with a very comfortable 1,000 net worth lead. See what the bounty spread looks like. Dazzle already moving into position down bottom. Trade some blows with Baboka here.
For one, it looks like here. Fenrir will get the top, but Fly's going to get both at the bottom.
Yeah. Further advantage for EG.
Oh, and they had to spend 2 centuries to deward that small camp. That's why this pressure has been so heavy down bottom on Silars. They just finally got it. And it took them until 4 seconds after the minute, so they still missed the next one.
Oh, that's brutal. Bottom, Baboka taking a lot of pressure. Sylar able to time walk back. Fiery Spirits slow down that Ursa. it's just fire spirits. I always call it fiery spirit.
Yeah, I call it fire spirits too.
It's
I don't
actually
blame you.
it's actually just fire spirits. Today I learned.
It's okay, they're very fiery. I'm sure it's true. Artino taking a little blow up here. The body blocks from Fender. That big fat booty.
There's the press of the attack, trying to cut through the trees. Arteezy, 70 HP, will be okay for now. XXS can't quite find him. A little on man here. There's some overwhelming odds. Arteezy still alive. Ring around the Rosie. XXS.
And
will not
meanwhile, in your mid lane, your Tinker dies.
Yeah, rotation from Crit. The tiny Lina combo, very hard to deal with. The CS difference still very much in favor of Sumail.
He just got that kill, and there's an invis room bottom. So Crit's gonna find this too.
Brutal.
Dire's structures are
And now
fortified.
I would just kill this Tinker again, 100%. You just run back mid and kill him the second he TP's
Oh,
back.
yeah.
That's how you win a Dota 2 game right there.
And look at this ward
Oh, they
here.
scanned! They know! Oh no!
Radiant's middle tower is
But they've
under
got the
attack.
ward here, so they see him TP in. They know exactly where Lover is, and they might still be able to make something happen.
Oh,
Crit
hey.
tosses him up to the tower. Sumail's there with the LSA, the follow-up avalanche, and Lover gets brought down again. Beautiful setup. They even knew it was coming, but didn't expect the invisibility rune. They had no vision on that.
Somehow it gets even worse by wasting the scan. Like, how can that situation get any worse?
Yeah. Just like that, I suppose.
Hard start.
But the good thing about Tinker is he's a hero that can recover relatively well. It's going to take him some time. Do they have any stacks in the jungle here?
Just
No.
failed one.
Okay, well, that's a bummer.
Dire's top
But stacks in the
tower is
jungle are
under
one way
attack.
Tinker can power farm his way back into this mid game. Of all the heroes to be kind of slaughtered mid like this, I think Tinker is positioned better than most to come back.
Fly's just in here already. Running around, see what's going on.
But to Fly's credit, I mean, he knows exactly. This is Tinker's room to recover. He does scale up grave. There's the TP out, and oh, sweet dazzle. Nicely done.
Yeah, he knows there are not a lot of stuns. Things to worry about.
But I like the idea of what Fly's doing there, trying to move in, intercept the stacks, make sure this Tinker isn't just free farming in the jungle, still finding ways to put pressure on.
Oh, Bobka, right underneath Crit here. Another
Crit.
toss to Sumail.
On the high ground, and that's another easy one.
These Lina tiny games have just been so good to watch. Like, everyone's getting so skilled at this whole toss into LSA.
Yeah.
Fun little alley-oop plays as we hit the 8-minute mark. ZD on the butt and a 2K lead already. Oh, there's still 0 kills for Aster.
Yep. There's the Soul Ring out on Tinker. It's pretty big for him. Fly pings out that double damage rune, so we'll see it picked up by Crit or Sumail. Looks like it's going to go to Sumail. Back into the jungle we go. Positioning from Fly. 2 points in the poison as well, Trent.
I'm not sure if he got a great one. That felt a little unnecessary.
Well, and that's it. I think he would have died without it.
I mean, he could have just TP'd at like 80% health when he saw 2 heroes. Surely he lives.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But it's okay. It's Grave. Level 1 Grave's just such a bummer. But if you ever want more points, get the
He's already used his time walk here. The Tiny comes out and Sylar just gets picked off like that. Oh my.
The killing spree now for S4. He's 51 and 20.
Radiant's middle tower is
Yeah,
fortified.
S4 is basically just playing position 1 Ursa at this point. He's #1 on net worth, actually slightly ahead of Sumail, way ahead of the Terrorblade. He's been basically left alone in this lane. I mean, Void's been there, but Void has no capacity to stop this Ursa from farming. Now they're going to put a lot of pressure on this tier 1 tower. 2 ranged creeps. Glyph comes out, but I don't think Aster will be able to mount much of a defense.
I mean, I don't like to call the game early, but
It's pretty brutal. 7-0 as we get closer to the 10-minute mark. Went to that gold graph, about 4,500 net worth favor. Very significant at this. And now that tier 1 tower falls down bottom, so that'll open up the Aster jungle a little bit more for EG. Nice counter ward here from the Ogre. It's a step in the right direction, but I mean, look at how many sentries they have now, and see how much priority Aster are putting on this jungle to make sure that they've got somewhere to farm. The Tinker not even able to farm there now as Void needs somewhere to recover.
that's the thing. You spend all these sentries, but like, what good does it do you, honestly? Like, maybe you remove some of this vision, but you still can't really farm down here. So the one thing they have going for them is that they have to control that entire top lane from Essence Fest.
Ogre gonna die down bottom. S4 just clobbers him. Blink of an eye.
Blink.
That's a blink for the Ursa at 10 minutes.
He's looking very good.
More rotations, though, on the way. S4 could be in some trouble here, but he's got friends nearby. There's the duel on the Ursa, but on the other side, they catch Baboga. He gets dropped straight away. S4 survives the duel, turns onto XXS.
They tried it with a Chrono.
Absolutely obliterated. Yeah, Void is only level 5. One creep kill away. There's the Chronosphere, but he gets stunned. On the outside, Crit might still be able to put some damage in here. Fenrir charging in, trying to put some damage on the Sumail on the back line, but it's not going to be enough. Fenrir dies, flies there with some heals. Baboka, he's back, he's in the tree line. LSA just barely off the mark. Now putting pressure into this tier 2. They've even got a siege creep to help with this push as Crit repels the forces of Aster. They're going to have to let this one go.
Radiant's bottom
Wow.
tower.
Absolute devastation here.
This is all EG all day.
I mean, you just used your Chrono, you tried to use your duel. It was an ambitious jump, but attempting that play without the Chronosphere, I mean, you saw how close it was. It's just like, that's one deny from the Ursa, you know? Like, that's what all of that work did from S4. That's what that is. A Void that was level 5 at 10.5 minutes.
Yeah. And now EG, they've got this momentum. They're starting to get that first round of core items. Terrorblade looking at his Dragon Lance. You mentioned that blink up on Ursa. Tiny even getting close to his blink now. 2,000
So
gold in the
close.
bank.
He's gonna have it. He just is like kill one camp basically, and life's gonna be good.
Really starting to feel that gold difference. And now the smoke from EG.
They know
Into Roche Pit.
Chrono's down. That was the only hope they had is like if they take a bad Roche for EG, and I'm sure EG would have just avoided it until the Chrono happened. They're never gonna go for this if the Egg and the Chrono are both available. So
Look at this team going here. The Pitbo Trent. Fly tanking the Roshan, toggling it back and forth. No lifesteal on S4, but takes it down easy nonetheless. Now an Aegis to be immortal is secured.
very aggressive build from Fly to go for the Arcanes. Really uncommon on Dazzle.
This is what I'm talking about, dude.
Yeah.
This is the Pop Dazzle build right here.
It's to just keep on rolling. Like, the train never stops. I'm never going back to the fountain. That's all this is.
I like his choice to leave the poison at level 2, though. He got a lot of value out of it in lane, and now he's just transitioning back to that kind of traditional support.
Yeah, all that matters for the poison is how, once the lane's over, then
yeah,
you don't really need it.
Pretty much. Sylar blinks into the trees, knows exactly where Sylar's going to end up, and that Void gets pummeled once again. Wow.
I don't want to say rush the game, but there's a chance they even think about a tier 3 with this kid. It seems a little ridiculous, but honestly, he just finished a Dragon Lance and a TC.
I mean, is it 12-0 at 13 minutes? I don't know that high ground is that ridiculous. They've got such a sizable
It's
lead.
unnecessary, let's be honest. Like, they should just be closing out the tier 1 top, then both the tier 2s mid and top 2, but for now, they don't really want the kill on Fenrir. They want something more than that.
Success is going to be nearby, but he'll be able to make it back, it seems. Haven't checked in on the Tinker in a while. Lover's been pretty quiet, just trying to recover his farm. He does have BOTs up now, but we'll see the initiation on to XXS. Crit starts things off. The combo's there. LSA into Laguna. The LC will get brought down. Fenrir initiated on. No hope. Absolutely no hope. That poor Ogre.
Oh, now even Bobica.
First dive away.
He has no TP.
He does have a supernova.
I hope he doesn't use it.
There's the laser. He's trying to fly over the tree line. Might actually still be able to survive here. Looks like EG are just going to let it go.
Okay, maybe there's a chance he can do some sort of backstab in 15 seconds with an egg. Yeah, they're going to try and prep this. So, like, if we're going to find one chance, this is probably it. I wouldn't mind seeing Sylar there. He's got 3 TPs. Could think about using one.
Good. Min-max that unreliable a little bit.
I doubt they're going to find... they're just going to read this. And
I think Void's just going to keep farming. He needs this Mask of Madness so bad. See where they press the attack. Maybe thinking about initiation. Not able to find the angle. Now the rotation down bottom. Sumail on the Lina is going to join the Terrorblade. It looks like they're going to pressure Sylar. Sumail hiding in the trees. Very smart.
He's going to run right into him. He just wanted that 4th TP.
Oh, no. LSA does miss, however. Sylar able to time walk away. TP's still available. Arteezy trying to find him, but Sylar time walk to the other side now. Eating his way to get to a safe spot, looking for a TP perhaps.
He's making space here, I guess.
You can call it that. Curious where this is going to end up, though. And there you go.
However, he can't contest the runes because of this, and they're going to get all 4, it looks like.
I mean, he lives, and that feels like a victory, but at the same time, he's just TP'd back. He's running to, like, that's all wasted time where this Void is not involved.
Depends what happens.
He's going to go down first. Glover in the trees. There's the March of the Machine. XXS with a duel onto the Ursa. That'll be their first kill. However, it's just an Aegis. Ursa coming back to life. Crit finds the Phoenix. Hits him with a combo, and S4 will just walk away. Fly nearby. He does not get caught in the chrono. Ursa in trouble, but there's the shallow grave. Nicely done by Fly. Can they save S4 though? The Supernova does find the kill. They will finish off the Dazzle to boot. So a sign of life for Aster. 2 much needed kills in the top lane.
Yeah, they're not even losing anything fast. Very good start here to any hope of a comeback. Had to throw out a really early grave there from Fly because he knew the stuns were coming in. So
And the Tinker. It's so much burst damage, you kind of have to use it.
So that one looked a little bit fresh, but 9K lead still.
If Sylar had caught the Dazzle in the chrono, that would have felt a little better. But there was a moment there I was like, oh, there's going to be a grave. There's a little turn potential here, Trent. Not quite. Still massive lead for Evil Geniuses, though. 15-2, nearly a 10K net worth advantage. I think they're all right with a small stumble there. All 3 of their cores are top 3 on net worth.
I mean, all I would say, though, is that with that Aegis, they didn't get a single tower. A little surprised. That's true. Considering the position they're in, but maybe the next round of items is when they'll pressure on the map. And currently smoked up mid. Hard kill on Sylar though. Maybe looking for someone a bit easier like XXS perhaps.
Top tower is under attack.
Commander does have a blink dagger.
They invested a ton of sentries. Side twos. No, it's the best forward vision. That's why they're more down from the side of EG.
You were right earlier, though. EG, not in any hurry. They know they've got a comfortable lead. They're just going to keep farming, not get hyper aggressive.
Dire's top tower.
So they've got potential here for a blink toss in the... Oh, there's the void. They might try to blink toss to Sumail.
They're looking for the Battle Fury. They will connect onto the void here. Big follow-up damage, but they can't bring it down in time. Time walk back. Now Crit in a lot of trouble. On the other side, there's a duel out on S4, but he does survive through it. Shallow grave just in time. Phoenix Egg will get popped, and that'll be the first casualty of this fight. S4 makes it into the tree line, gets healed by the Dazzle, and he will survive. Good fight for EG, though. Really wanted that void kill.
Nice save from XSS, though. That was Sumail trying to min-max, right? He's just trying to like wait for the Laguna, see if they have enough damage, but then he gets pressed the attack. So that canceled the stun on Sylar, and he's able to time walk off when you would have been expecting it outside of EG.
Hey, what do we say during the draft? LC, press the attack. That's what she's all about, baby.
Had more of an impact than the one duel victory on an Aegis. That's
yes,
for sure.
Yeah. Plus 10's nice, but I guess that's part of the value of the Ursa pick here. The way Sport's been playing it, I think this LC has felt like I have to duel the Ursa because he's just in there. Not that he wants to, but limited on choices the way EG's been taking these fights. Now a Basher up on the Ursa. Smoke rotation though from Aster, looking maybe for the Lina. Sumail gonna head back to friendly territory. Could still get caught here though. There's the attack, and he's gonna walk right into it. Okay. Nice dual kill there. Dominated streak ended. XXS will get credit for the kill. 20 damage.
They're clawing back here, man. I don't know. It's very impressive so far. I saw presses on it there, but he's going for a Battle Fury. He's saying, I know where this game is going if we're ever going to win.
Yep, I think it's the right call here. Damage match the magic. Pressure onto this tier 1. They do force a cliff. And now at 4, he's inbound. He jumps in, does not get it back. 2x multicast instead. Now Sylar drops the chrono. Whoops. They just turn onto the Ursa like that.
EG, what are you doing?
Small miscommunication there. Fly just a little bit too far back. It is a level 3 shallow grave, but still not enough range to save his Ursa.
That one extra point.
It seemed like S4 was forcing it there, and he's kind of jumped into 4 heroes.
I mean, it's like if you get that badge, you know, that's one of those.
That's true.
He rolled the dice.
S4 the gambler. I like it. Now the tier 1 stays standing mid, so EG have only lost 1 tower. He's that top tier 1. Like you mentioned, they haven't really taken any other objective for quite some while now. We're getting close to that 20-minute mark. Still a tier 1 standing in the top lane for Aster, and still a tier 2 in the mid. See what happens with these bounty runes. Looks like it'll again be EG favored. Phoenix is going to grab one here, but Fly looks like he'll be able to snag both bounties down bottom.
Dazzle.
Net worth has stalled out 15-minute mark in terms of the lead here.
Yeah, kind of flatlined, but still a...
The XP's bumping back towards Aster because he fights too.
Yeah. But
Usually the better indicator game.
BKB just came out on our TV.
How that fight goes, and of course the Roche fight is the big thing, so when those cooldowns will be ready.
It does feel like Lover has done a pretty good job recovering based on how rough that laning phase was, though. Looks like he's going to have the Aether lens before too long.
Yeah, and a lot of that comes down to just like even holding this top tier 1, right? It allows you to farm that area safer, more boss time. Yeah, nearby here. A little bit of casual LSA there. They probably could have jumped him, but then there would have been a press the attack there from the lurking lurking Legion, and then it'll also come down to the rolls on the bashes from S4 as he was waiting on the high ground to blink in.
Lover also has the Blink Dagger. That core kit for the Tinker at least now, so he can be mobile. You know, he can pretty confidently push out these lanes and hide in the trees. It's that stage where he becomes a very, very significant nuisance to deal with. Blade picks up some extra HP as he hits level 15.
I put a lot of XP onto this Phoenix. Very impressive. They really needed that. I was expecting to be like level 10.
Oh, here we go. Initiation. They grab Arteezy, but will they be able to finish it in time? It's going to be close, but no cigar. There's the ult from the Void, and they're still not going to be able to bring him down. The ult second stops Sylar. Supernova does go off. Another stun onto Arteezy, but he drops the Sunder onto his own dazzle so he can get healed up. Now blinded by the Tinker. This is not good for EG. It's a 2 for 3. A lot of low health heroes. The Phoenix will get tossed back, secure a double kill for Crit, making it a 3 for 3. But Aster take a surprisingly good fight, and I think they will find the net worth advantage. Absolutely.
Comeback is real here. I don't look at the XP swing again too. It's going more their way. So much damage from the Phoenix in that situation. Even though the Grave was there, they just put everything on TV. First the duel, then into the chrono. Eventually, you're going to get there, force them to send the dazzle, and then they send the double kill instead. So this Tinker, going for the Dagon too. This has been very common on the Tinkers as of late.
Especially against Terrorblade.
Yeah.
So good to have that first damage.
Feels like you might want the Ags, obviously, because you have a Void and you have a Terrorblade you're playing up against, but I like it.
Yep, and that was
bursting down.
Also the 10-second
Yeah.
BKB on Terrorblade. So in theory, they'll get the hardest fight Aster's going to have to take in the mid game.
That's an easy one though.
This Void getting very low. They're going to be able to finish him off. Phoenix with the heals, but there's the dual scepter. LSA followed up, and this time the Laguna is going to secure the kill. Icarus died to get in some extra damage. There's the duel on Fly.
Oh, the missile kills Sumail. That's going to stop Roche, more than likely. And that's one thing is that, like, Aster won that last fight, they couldn't Roche. And then EG, I think, were hoping for it, but
they're so far behind these, quote, even trades, 2 for 2. Huge advantage for Aster once again.
yeah, but can S4 Roche? That's the big question right now. Because if he can Roche while this is, like, everyone's kind of chilling out, there's 8 seconds till egg.
Kinda risky here. LC has duel in 25.
They have
Won't
to
be a
bail.
factor, but they're going to back up.
EG! Oh my god! I mean, this felt like how do you even come back from this after? This feels actually ridiculous. They stalled out so hard on EG and they went right into the nosedive. Like the propeller stopped spinning.
Yeah. I mean, it just seemed like Aster took this mid game of we're going to play very defensive. We're going to just try to make space for our cores to farm. And then they started using their ultimates in the proper order. You know, that first really bad team fight we saw, Void didn't even have the chrono. Since then, they've done an exceptionally good job.
It's still uphill though.
Stacking all their ultimates. I mean, that's really what's been able to do it. Now Roshan, smoke into the pit.
They're hoping that EG come to contest this. Yep, they're going to take the haste room.
They're going to head up to the high ground. XXS grabs Fly. The Dazzle is the ideal target for the duel. No shallow grave. And that'll be the end of the Shadow Priest. Looking for more. S4 does blink away. So Kill survives it on the back line. Sprint all by his lonesome. Looking for a TP out. Trying to use that lack of stuns, but they've got it. Lover has the burst damage. And now Aster, they should be able to just grab this Roche.
Unbelievable. Aster Dota showing up in the second half of this game.
Power of the Tinker, man. You pummel it in lane,
That was
but
no chrono.
yeah.
Arteezy's not there for it, so the fight's happening. Not that you were really expecting to be, but there she goes. And now the question is, who gets it? They're going to get Sylar. Hopefully they were thinking about it a wee bit there.
Well, he's got his Battle Fury. Shadow Blade going to be next up for the Faceless Void. Give him some initiation tools. And Tinker does have the Dagon now. Still only level 1. Going to leave it there as Aghanim is now queued up next.
Now the question is, though, this is the board still for Sumail, so he cannot die again. Like, this is the point where EG need to really get a grip and start going back on the train. Like, suddenly there's only a 3K lead. Oh, top lane. SSS playing around here. But Blade Mail's be enough to end that.
Yeah, it seems like it. Phoenix is going to be inbound, but they'll both just TP home.
Cheese down the Ursa, or the Legion. Committing to that one, but like if they lose all these Bloodstone charges, that's going to be just, it'll essentially be a net worth lead.
Yeah. I don't know, Trent. I've said it a couple times. I think this Tinker is going to be the difference maker for Aster. I don't really see how EG can control him now unless they catch that like perfect initiation with the Tiny in the backline or something. But if Lover continues to play the way he has, they don't really have an answer to catch the Tinker out.
They have like Blink Bash. I mean, that's one of the best ways to do it. Just Blink Tiny. They have good options for her, honestly. She plays very defensive.
Yeah, kind of. The way he's positioned, though, it hasn't been easy for S4 to get the backline. Crit ends up in the trees, and now he will get caught by the duel. It'll be extra damage going the way of LC, and now that tier 1 tower mid will fall in favor of Aster. 2K net worth favor for EG. Aster have just about leveled it out, and they are hungry for more.
The Sunray like that, too, where you just instantly put it on him so you can't blink out.
Yeah.
A nice play there.
Dire's middle
Back kill.
tower
They're just going to keep on pressing forward. This Bloodlusted Void with the Battle Fury. Farming up a Storm. Third on the net worth. He has surpassed the Lina. This is the level 5 Void at 10.5 minutes. Look at this guy.
Dire's
Easy tier 2 tower in the mid lane. Well, Trent, we've got a real game on our hands here.
I don't know how much the game is left at this point. EG, they got to find something. Feels like they're panicking a little bit here.
Lion Sumail backing up down bottom. Anticipating this rotation could be inbound as Aster go back to farming their jungle. S4 farming the other side of it, looking for an Abyssal Blade up next on the Ursa. 2,500 gold, not too far away, but certainly still has a little more farming to do.
I like these Tinker Wars down bot though. Like, if maybe this will be the difference maker, right? If they can get this lane pushed in, they can find themselves an opportunity on Lover, that would be great, but for now, they're just using the Shadow Blade aggressively, posturing to take another tier 1 here, and the question is, will EG actually respond? Do they want to fight this? Can they fight this?
So the Spirit Vessel is up on Phoenix and 4-stack inbound. We are pretty leveled out here. 9-second BKB on the Terra Blade, ready to rock and roll. He's got the SNY and Lincoln Sphere queued up next.
And they're looking at this tower, but it's been ditched by Aster. So it's going to be a little bit more wasted time here. And now as EG, you're like, okay, do we stick around for the bounty runes? Like, there's a whole 2 minutes now. Things are just getting a little weird. You got 5 heroes just standing.
Very limited vision right now. And just in general, I think both teams only have 1 ward down. Radiant deep in enemy territory, and Dire have that Tinker ward that you mentioned.
Let me tell you a story about GPM talent.
Yeah?
On an Ogre and a Phoenix. I mean, you can buy a billion sentries. This Ogre is just, he's got 3 sentries. He's popping these things down like
You're
candy.
right. Yeah, they both got the level 10, 90 gold per minute talent. It's been adding up.
Very hard to get vision control against that. And that's why the Ogre is just so popular. Like, he wins the lane, and then he controls the vision game, too.
Down bottom, Baboka with a TP. Like, he'll be good as he flies off the map. Very nice.
They're going to find that pressure into the lane.
Pretty close to Aegis expiration here.
Love to find something more. DD, the last bits of that Aegis, but yeah, like 50 seconds left.
I think they played reasonably well with it, though. The Void's been in the front line. They knocked down some towers. They didn't get that huge epic team fight they were hoping for, but they still used the Aegis as a tool to increase their aggression.
I mean, there's a pretty clear fear in EG, I would say, at this point, right? Like, they have solidified their vision across the whole map. It feels like EG has nothing but that one Tinker ward bottom.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Oh, with all that said, though, I mean, Aster basically has to do what they did last time to shut down this Terra Blade. TB is still such a scary hero in games like this. One good Sunder can absolutely change a team fight. Still a lot of pressure on Aster to find that CC change. Terra Blade doesn't get that opportunity. Lincoln Sphere and DKB, that's going to be a little more difficult.
Yeah, very defensive. I like that, though. It makes the initiations a little bit tough on him. While we're trying to get all the damage before he can be Grave, too. And I'm probably going to see... I'd like to see an Aether on the Dazzle, if possible. I feel like that would be a nice way to play from here. Because it really seems like he's going to have some issues.
Definitely going to be tough for him to afford that, but I agree it would be great.
It's got the energy. though. He's good.
Yeah, no, that's true. I was thinking more. I think most of his gold's going to wards here for the next couple minutes. So I don't know at what point he's going to be able to stop buying wards and pull up for those last couple
Maybe
pieces.
he should get a GPM talent. How about that?
Damn it, Dazzle.
What's your issue?
We talked about this.
Get one of those. I could see those being done away with. I'm a little out on these things. They feel like respawn timers to me now.
I think that's a extreme comparison. The respawn timers were just dumb. 90 gold per minute is.
GPM talents, dude. 3 centuries.
Yeah.
It just makes you better than other supports. I hear ya. Initiation ISS. Ooh, straight toss. Up, top, back.
Beat a follow-up. Pops his BKB, so doesn't get clipped by the stun. Blade mail. EG will just back up.
Edge sentry there too, so they spawn silent.
Void, yeah. That is a BKB also on the Void now, and a gem picked up by the Phoenix.
Okay. Time to close out the vision.
Another initiation, crit jumps in there. The toss back onto Sylar, but he BKBs. It's a great Chronosphere. Dual Scepter used by the Lina, but Fly, he's off to the side. They do find him in the trees as Lover blinks over. All Fly still alive for EG, but Chris finally gets brought down. Now the stun onto S4 from the Supernova. It's not the fight that EG wanted. Figure to finish off Sumail, and it will be a 3-0 as EG limp back to their side of the map. 30 minutes in, Aster have taken the net worth advantage for the first time this game.
A combination of Ignite and Rockets, I guess, must have brought down Sumail. He was way in the back.
Yeah.
Trying to escape there, and the grave just not there as it had already been used.
Brutal. Felt like EG really tried to force that, though. Tiny jumping in. They handed Sylar a pretty easy chrono there.
Yeah, but at the same time, they've just been like roaming around the ball on the side of Aster, so like, how else can you fight them? I don't know. If you kill the Void, the fight is over.
Yeah, I hear you.
Toss tier 1.
Dire's bottom
And there's a
tower.
minute until they have the egg and the chrono back up, so maybe forcing that fight, it might be enough if it's a really early row spawn, or if they can just get aggressive once again. I feel like they must have a lot of smokes on the side of EG. I don't think they've used too many. I see one on Fly, but I'm not sure. They might have more in the shop. Because feels like they have not been using.
Radiant's top tower is
Yeah,
under
definitely
attack.
does. Looks like they do have one available. Aster in very good shape here. Looking at Roshan, we'll see what that RNG timer looks like here in about 10 seconds. Will certainly become a focus of this game. That is Roche 3 up next. Refresher Shard, game changer in the hands of Aster. Double chrono is
I love how
so deadly.
I love how Fenrir is playing. He's intentionally positioning himself in these spots where he's between Sylar and the side of EG. Like he's just running up to that mid wave. Oh, but they're not going to be able to do the same for Phoenix.
Baker will get brought down. We're going to see a full fight break out.
They're very split right now.
Initiated on. Sylar on the way in. Tinker in the tree lines. This could be all right for Aster.
4 seconds work.
Be able to grab the Tiny and crit will go down. Buyback on the Phoenix though. It is a 1-for-1, but not a huge gain for Aster.
But alas, Roche is coming.
No buyback on crit. Is Roche going to be up? What's the timer? 2 seconds. Relatively lucky for Aster, but will they scout it?
Yeah, they have the advantage there on the side of EG. And they can actually just spam illusion. Better eyes on it. Really similar on the side of Aster's. Bodies in the pit. They're gonna smoke them. So they have 2 sentries and an observer on the ogre.
Dire are scanning.
Trying to solidify. Well, they don't even check the pit. They're just going. In fact, the scan hits them. They think they're in.
Oh, they jump onto the Terrorblade though. That Lincoln's actually saving him. The duel gets blocked.
Whoops.
And I think that's where this fight is going to settle down. They're going to find somebody else. It's the Ursa. He's a little too far on the other side of the river.
He's going for the chrono. Nice save.
Yep, Aster BKB, or Sylar BKBs, jumps forward, Chronosphere.
Oh, he panics.
Connects only on Sumail. He's got the BKB on, but it might still be enough. There's the shallow grave, and Sumail will deny. Egg goes off the back line. Very chaotic fight, but obvious advantage for Aster.
Oh, he had both for sure in that first chrono, and he doubted himself. He went for the cancel, but in the end, he still secured the fact that they kill Sumail, get some Bloodstone charges, even
Down
if
to
they didn't
6.
deny. So.
BKB is starting to wear down on EG as well. That was the 10-second BKB on Sumail, and now a 7-second BKB remaining on the Terrorblade. Value Lincolns, though, I have to say.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a reason he needs to build so defensively. Like, this whole game is just Terrorblade for EG. It's the only way they can win fights. At this point, the Ursa has just stalled out so much, especially when he's trying to fight into someone like Tinker. All this AoE damage between Tinker and Phoenix, even just random ignites spouting out, it makes it hard for him to go for like these blink plays. So he's fully reliant on just, like, if he blinks and just Abyssal's Lover, the fight could just be over, right? But
yeah, sure.
It's been Aster getting the jump every single time.
That Tinker in the back line.
This is a really deep wraparound here now from EG, hoping for
Mr. Blade on the Phoenix. They'll bring him down straight away. Now Fenrir might be the next target of choice. XXS nearby, and now the Tinker even jumps forward. Crit will catch him. Big opportunity to try to kill this Tinker here, but they can't do it. He blinks off after the rearm. Now on the other side, S4 does get graved, stays alive a little bit longer than planned, but it's not the fight that EG wanted.
Oh no, it looks so good. They had the dieback hero, but now it's crumbling.
Sylar will the time walk away. The Ogre ends up getting brought down by Arteezy.
They couldn't get him, actually. They had 3 heroes around Arteezy. He couldn't die. And on the backside, Crit did manage to finish off that Tinker first. So that should be enough for them to secure. They have to go for this. Even if it's a little bit risky. Like, they know Phoenix has no buyback. They know there's no Chrono.
Rough to do this without the Ursa, but I think you're absolutely right. I mean, this is one of the only windows that they're going to find.
This should be enough to secure it for them. So that's going to be, like, basically, we talk about how TV is by far the most important thing in this game, and now he's going to have everything twice.
Yep. But still some more big items on the way for Aster. Faceless Void going to the Butterfly. He's just about there, so he's going to get a huge boost in his effective HP. Terrorblade now picking up the Scotty. A good choice, but going to have trouble cutting through that illusion. Also, the Halberd is up on Legion Commander. Going to be able to break that Lincolns and get duels on that Terrorblade a little more easily now.
The classic Legion item. The Lincoln's Breaker Extraordinaire.
Oh, yeah.
Also just straight up good against Terrorblade, too.
A very even game in terms of net worth. Starting to feel rough for EG, but now a serious sign of life with that Refresher Shard Aegis secured.
I think they're going to finally remedy that mistake of not taking these outer towers earlier on in the game. This game could be so different if they were able to secure and try and take away some of this farming space for the side of Aster.
Especially that tier 1 up top just gives Tinker this access point to continue spamming out waves.
Finally, it's gone down, and now the tier 2 looks like it will fall as well, even if it's just creeps. Like, they know that they can't really walk into the Sylar, too scared. Even when they use a Blade here.
Tier 2 mid also very low.
He wants this, but they all know, like, I don't know. This is an awkward standoff.
This is a tough angle. This is a game-changing fight right here. EG need to be very careful about how they take it.
They're the one with Aegis and Refresher and Cheese. Like, I'm shocked that Aster even playing this out of the base, frankly, for a tier 2 at 15% HP and using a Glyph for it.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Twos both fall just about simultaneously, so that's it for the outer towers for Team Aster.
Delayed a little bit of time, I suppose, right? That's still 3.5 minutes on the Aegis, so close to an MKB for Arteezy, but even with this fresh Scotty, I feel like they could consider high ground.
Farm is incredible. He just bought that Scotty a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, he's quite a bit here.
Number 1 on net worth by a pretty good margin. Boca looking for an Eon disc now.
The egg off.
It's kind of a bummer for Aster that they had this window where the Butterfly could have been really effective, but it was completely mitigated by all the Roche 3 spoils.
Radiant's top tower
and that MKB will definitely be online when that next fight breaks out. So,
yeah, it looks like Arteezy's just gonna buy out. Because, I mean, you have the Aegis, you have the Shard. I feel like you can just go for the game here. So, yeah. We'll see, though. He's currently still saving up towards buyback. He's just a little bit shy, but he's got enough to finish things.
Aster, 3 heroes in the bottom lane, pressuring this tier 2. No one from EG nearby. They're hiding in the trees, kind of baiting with this Void a little bit. I guess hoping that EG will bite.
Boots have even been ditched here for Arteezy.
Uh-oh. Raid boss time.
He's wobbling.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
That'll be the end of the outer towers. Only tier 3s remain here, Trent.
Yeah, pretty bold stuff here. I don't know. They just pressure right up And no contest from EG, so that's a good
Dire's
snipe from
bottom
Aster.
tower
Just to like
is
find
under
that
attack.
space and get an objective for themselves when they're fighting into Aegis, Cheese, and Refresher Shard.
I mean, I like it though. They're trying to find objectives just to stop EG from forcing this fight right outside of the enemy base. I mean, they are honestly doing a really good job
Radiant's top
buying
tower
time
is
on
under
this
attack.
Aegis.
They're checking scans to see the bounty runes. Crit still comes in though, but it's an invisible Fenrir with the Glimmer Cave. Now Crit.
Aster,
He's just wandering into the whole team.
awkward position here. Crit is going to be initiated on first, but he does have some friends. There's the duel. Arteezy joins the party, and Sumail on the back line almost catches the Phoenix, but it's not enough. Crit gets the shallow grave. There's the supernova, but Sylar gets brought down as the raid boss is here. This fight is looking good for EG. They'll bring down 3. The supernova goes off. Tinker not even in the fight. 1 for 3. Very nice.
Yeah, things just kicking off in a bad way for Aster on that one. Not able to get off any of those key spells.
And just no Tinker. I mean, Tinker is so much of their damage in those kind of initiations.
The egg just feels so underwhelming without the Chronosphere stacked up on top of it too.
Nothing lost for EG there. Still an Aegis, still a Refresher Shard. Cheese also in the hands of Sumail. Back up to 71 stone charges.
I can't this guy MKB hit by that. That is ridiculous.
Buyback used by Fenrir. EG taking this kind of slow. Still a long cooldown on Metamorphosis. Has not used the shard yet.
They've got 30 seconds left.
Yeah, so probably back up, wait for that meta. Another gank.
Honestly, it feels like it's just come down to another rush fight. Unfortunately for EG, as you know, if that fight happens maybe a minute or two sooner, then perhaps you have a chance at cracking the high ground. But I think they need to slow roll it once again here.
Starting to feel that late game potential of EG as Sumail is just turning into a cannon at this point. Daedalus queued up, so his right clicks are going to start really hurting.
Void feels like he's stalling out real hard though. Like he fought a butterfly that's now countered by the MKB. Again, still the #1 damage deal on the Dire side. Going to be really rough for him. And then on top of that, he now feels like he needs a Lincoln Sphere. So he is not really progressing. Especially like he has to guarantee the Chronosphere, sure, but
Regeneration
feels a little rough.
Ogre going for the plus 40 strength talent at level 20. Skipping the Bloodlust. Beefy Ogre here, 2,900 HP now.
Play it, honestly. The Bloodlust is pretty great, but for the most part, everyone just feels the need to go to strength.
Seen the Bloodlust picked up a couple times.
Yeah, I think it's good when you have like TV or you're in a situation where you're like GG pushing when you know they don't buy back and like you just can get 1 extra rack because of it.
Very situational. 40 strength is a lot.
It is.
It's like a lot.
It adds when you take that talent and the health. It's like 900 HP.
Ooh, initiation here. Looks like they are going to find this kill. That's an Ursa down. It's a good catch for Aster, but can they get more? Arteezy with the BKB on the sideline, grabs the front of the back line, trying to finish off Fly. It's going to be close, and he will bring him down. Now on the other side, Crit able to survive. And Arteezy will just head back up to the high ground as Sylar is still in pretty deep. BKB on, but it's expired. Now Crit hits him with a toss. Arteezy doing a lot of damage. Supernova on the low ground.
Tinker way in the back too. Lover.
Pops the hex on to Sumail. He's going to eat the cheese. Now Sumail's back and ready to fight. Tinker getting low to disarm, stopping this Terrorblade from doing the damage he needs. Arteezy can't sunder. He's going to go down, and now Crit on the run. Looks like he's going to fall as well. The neutral creeps will deny it, but he's going to be dead nonetheless. It's all 5 dead for EG. The buyback from Tinker proving worth it as they get completely cleaned up.
Oh, the 43-minute neutral deny. Well, it's a pure victory for EG on that little kill. As yeah, it costs him 2160 even with all the kills. Very expensive for the old Tinker, but if that's going to help secure the first tier 3 of the game.
2,400 net worth swing, and now the Tiny buys back. 2 more heroes with buybacks available. It's the Lina and the Terrorblade. He does have Metamorphosis. I think he used that Refresher Shard before he went down. Glyph already been used by EG. There's the tier 3 tower, and this will be at least 1 lane of barracks. Possibly more. We'll see what Aster does, and they're going to go for it.
They want to force the buyback here.
They're committing for more.
EG have everything.
But what they're waiting for here, maybe thinking if they can hold it out, burning the buybacks. There it is. They try to bait it in. Now the TP's forward. XXS on the run, very low. EG have to get some cleanup kills here to make this worth it, but it might not be possible. The Void Time walks down. Phoenix jumps in, caught by a Yule Scepter, but we'll have another Icarus Sky. No, never mind. It's Fiery Spirits. Bokic suicides in. Okay. Yeah, nice catch with the Yules, though. I guess he couldn't make his way out.
He was just making space. He was making sure they couldn't chase. That was the only reason. He was 100% fine with dying.
I mean, talk about economic damage, though. It's an 8,000 net worth lead now for Aster, just like that. That graph.
So far. And, well, Roche, though, the time is a-coming. So Ortiz is going to sit at
40 seconds.
Need some illusions. Yeah. And of course, they won't know that. It's relatively early.
Brutal for EG.
I mean, in the end, though, this is a Terrorblade game. So, if they get the Aegis, the Cheese, and the Shard, this game could just be over. EG could just...
Speaking of Terrorblade, he's level 24, almost level 25, and we've seen what that 5-second cooldown on Sunder can do in team fights.
Well, I mean, he hasn't been getting off anyway, so...
Yeah, well, that's... But I think when it's on that short cooldown, you can use it a little more... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I think he's been trying to save it for those clutch times, and Aster have just been playing around that very well. So, a potential game change.
Look at this pacing from Sylar. He's so slow.
Well, Crit jumps in. Initiation onto Sylar. Follow-up LSA will be off the mark. Buyback from Phoenix used again as the BKB gets popped by Sumail. Aster finishing off some wards here. An awkward angle for EG to try to initiate.
They have the Dire Carrier in there, so no rush is up. They're going to take their own posture here. And everyone's just going to play on the enemy side. Perfect.
Absolutely. Very limited buybacks here, but Aster with the advantage.
Fenrir, welcome to the 900 bonus HP. You can just stand on the rune. That's an over in 46 minutes.
EG still on the high ground here, posturing like they really want to catch an initiation.
Nice warrior from Fenrir. Skip the ball.
S4 thinking about jumping in, but it's the Legion Commander that drops the Ursa. S4 buys back immediately. BKB's pop, but it's a great hurdle from Sylar. He focuses down the Dazzle, and now the Terrorblade is going to target on one. They destroy the Terrorblade. 120 seconds without buyback. EG up against the ropes is now Crit, trying to make it back to his side. S4 with the buyback, jumps in, does bring down Baboka.
He's going to need more than that.
But is he going to be able to make it out? The BKB, only a couple seconds left. A lot of damage coming his way, and they're going to try to chase him down. Lover catches Crit in the trees. Has the Hex. Like he's going to follow Aster.
Did it.
5 down on EG, and I think that's game. There's no buybacks.
This game is over.
That's it. They call it. Trent, what a game indeed. Game 1 of this best of 3. EG had an unbelievable early game. 12-0, 13-0.
I said this game was over in like 8 minutes, but I think I said it was over about 15 minutes, and then probably around 20 minutes too.
I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Aster showing so much resilience. That Faceless Void after an abysmal laning phase, the awful first fight where he's stuck at level 5 without Chrono. They completely brought it back. They stayed calm. They stayed cool. Love me, love you. Found all that space in the jungle to recover. I mean, I think that Tinker was one of the most standouts of this game for me with how well he went from getting dominated in the lane. Even we mentioned Sumail didn't even have a courier and was still dominating him, and he came back to do